Good morning and very welcome to our Mums at Work networking event. And today we've got 10 ways to grow your business with content marketing with our guest speaker, Julietta Watson from JFW Marketing. Hello, how are you today?
Hello, very well. Immersed in content already since 5 a.m, so I'm more than ready to do this presentation. So I'm going to take everyone through just a few ways that you can use content marketing to help grow your business. So content marketing is more about creating content. It can be written content, videos or pictures, as opposed to paid advertising or paid media. So I've got sort of 10 different ways, and we're going to talk about content media today. So I just got this little quote from Neil Patel, who's my hero for content marketing. So it says that content marketing continues to flourish for one very simple reason. It's what people want. They don't want intrusive banners, ads and pop-ups. They want high quality, engaging content that's useful and relevant, and that's also, unfortunately, multimedia, which means a lot of videos. So I know I follow Nicola on her Instagram account. She's great at doing lots of different media content. Her stuff is always engaged, it's always informative, and it always gets people to sort of like, comment, and engage. So she's definitely great at this. I'm not quite sure she's on this call, but we shall give her some more tips anyway. So I'm going to go through 10 different ways I think you can create content. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about blogging, Google My Business. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks with making videos for your social media accounts and for your websites. I'm going to do a little bit about going live, which I know can be scary for some people, how to make the most out of your case studies, lead generators, ebooks, courses, and my favourite, using Pinterest. So I'm going to actually use examples for this as opposed to walking through slides. I thought that might be a bit more helpful. So I thought we'd do number one, which is blog posts. Now, I think blog posts is probably the top way you can create content that's going to help drive traffic to your business. So you want your blog post to be informative, it could be educational, it could be promoting a new product or service, or it could just be offering someone advice about something. So I know, Nicola, you give great advice about going into labour, what you should do. That could very easily be a very good blog post that can give people advice. You can pack it full of clips, ideas, you can give them links. It's a great way of showing people, look, I know you're my ideal customer, this is what you want to hear, here's what I do and here's what I offer. So it's all a different way of basically driving people to your core business and your core product and service. So I've got some examples for some other businesses that I do blog posts for. So this one is a climbing company over in England. So they usually have lots of different products that they launch once a month. So for each launch of a product, we create a blog post around it. We add in featured images. We put links to other bits of content and services, but we're essentially trying to drive them to buy that product. So it's a sort of a clever way of masking your sale, getting people to buy something, really. But I'm making sure that we've got keywords in the headers, we've got keywords in subheadings, we're making it as interactive and as visual as possible by really packing that blog full of core, useful content. I've also got some other examples here. So this is Move IQ. So this is run by Phil Spencer from Location. So he has another company called Move IQ, which is about advice to do with buying, renting and owning your property. So once a month, he creates a blog post. Again, it's packed full of paid ads, but it's also packed full of really useful tips. And sometimes he'll have like a lead generating bit of content, like a checklist. So top ways to, so what's this one about? Kitchen design ideas for your home. So he might have a checklist attached to that to again help give people more reason to come and visit the blog post and drive them towards his key services. And then at the end of his blog post, he always has a sort of a call to action. So go to another blog post at the bottom, or sign up for my newsletter, or come to my Move IQ and join my membership. So it's an informative blog post, but it's doing almost like lots of different things at the same time. It's driving people to a newsletter, it's also driving people to his core service, and it's encouraging people to sign up for the newsletter. So blogs have got such multiple use purposes. I think they're just such an underutilized resource, especially by small businesses, for driving people to your service. This is another one I wanted to show you from Simple Pin Media. So they actually turn their podcasts into a blog post. So they're sort of getting a two-hitter. They're repurposing their core content, which is the podcast, but turning it into a blog post that people can read in their own time. So again, I've just shown you through here, they've got links to affiliates content. They've got links to their other content. And again, they've got tags to follow them on Pinterest. So it's really another blog packed full of lead generation, packed full of ways to drive them to other bits of content. But I just want to give you these different ways that people are using blogs as for their business. Now, if you're struggling to come up with ideas for blog posts, there's a great website called Answer the Public. So what you do is you type in your topic. So I'm going to type in DIY gifts. So what it does is, oh, that didn't work very well. Let me try that again. It basically looks through the web and finds out what people are searching for on this topic, but it will visualize it for you. So hopefully this is going to pop up in a minute. It'll give you lots of different ideas. Like, so I might type in DIY gifts for dads. So here we go. It's got some ideas about what are the best homemade gifts. Homemade gifts made easy. So these are really sort of good ways of finding what people are actually searching for in Google, and then they can then be titles for your blog posts. So actually DIY gifts for boyfriends, that seems to be quite a popular one. So I then also go into Pinterest and I'll check out. So if I type DIY gifts in there, see all of these titles that pop up here. These are lists basically of what people are typing in Pinterest. So again, DIY gifts for boyfriends seems to be another popular topic. So you know, if you were going to create a blog post about DIY gifts for boyfriend is likely to be a very popular topic. So if I was to click that in Pinterest, I can go in here and see, okay, what's the top ranking ideas on Pinterest. Surprise love gift box ideas for boyfriends. So that could be a good idea for a blog post. I also search things like Google Trends. So I'm going to type in DIY gifts in here. So again, you can change the region you wanted to search for. So actually you might get a different list of topics if you are in America or Canada, as opposed to the UK. So currently gift queries are DIY Christmas gifts already. You can also just search in the past. Let's do in the past day. Let's see what people are searching for. So again, look, DIY gifts for boyfriend, massively popular, and you can see what the search frequency is over time. So it was very popular on the 18th of August. That was today at 1 AM. So someone somewhere is very interested in DIY gifts for boyfriends. But it's a good way of, you know, you could just start writing a blog post if you wanted to, but it's much better to have a look about what people are interested in and what they are searching for on the web. I would also just go into Google itself. Into here, and let's type in DIY gifts. Again, it's also got a list of other things that people have been searching for. So if I click in DIY gifts for boyfriends there, so you've got what people also ask. So again, these make really good headlines for your blog post or sub-headlines. So you could say, what can I make my boyfriend as a gift? Top tips from Sinead Norton. And then maybe your subheadings could be last minute gifts, DIY gifts. So these are all going to be top ranking topics on SEO. So if you've got on your blog post these sort of titles in there, you've got more chances of being found basically by Google and by other people looking for your content. So that was number one, blog posts. So hopefully you've got an idea of what you can put in your blog posts, how you can get blog post ideas, and how to find great blog post headlines. Number two is syndicating your blog. So once you've written your blog and you've published it, I always encourage people to make more of their blog. So you've got it published on your website. Where else could you publish it? So my top place is on Medium. So Medium is like a free online publisher, but you can go and syndicate. So basically you republish your blog post onto Medium. It can be exactly the same, but you're giving your blog post more viewers basically, because there's lots of people that sign up for Medium. So once I have published my blog, I usually wait 2 weeks and then I repost it onto Medium. And the benefit of doing that is actually if you get lots of people to read your blog post on Medium, you get paid by Medium. So I think I've only made 5 cents so far, but I'm going to try and put more content on there. But I know lots of businesses who do put their stuff on there and get a lot more traction. So all I've done is I've reposted this directly onto Medium, but I've also put a link to say this was originally posted on my site. So I don't want, if someone was to search for what content should I post on Twitter, I want them to know that the original content was from my website and not from Medium. So I've actually got a post about what you need to do if you're going to post on Medium. If you want to, you can also repurpose onto your LinkedIn profile. So many people forget that you can actually post articles on LinkedIn, not just posts. So on here, again, I've put my blog posts onto LinkedIn. I've waited 2 weeks, and then I put a link at the bottom to say, this article originally appeared on my blog post. So I've got another set of viewers. So people who follow me on LinkedIn, I'm saying, hey, have you looked at my blog post? It's on LinkedIn, but it's also driving people back to my website as well. So those are 2 good places that you can syndicate or repurpose your blog posts. You could also use something called Quora. I don't know if anyone uses Quora just now, but it's like a sort of a question and answer site. So people post questions, and then the community who are interested in that topic can post their answers. But what you can do is you can join platforms. I'm using you again as an example, Nicola, sorry. But if there was a platform about doulas or pregnancy support, you could take maybe a snippet from your blog post and put the answer onto Quora. So if people are saying, you know, what do I do what are the best tips for post-pregnancy for getting your body back in shape, people might have put answers, but you could say, here's a really good blog post I put, check out some top tips, or give them a little snippet. So yeah, I'd say Quora is a good one for repurposing your blog content or syndicating it, and also Reddit. Now, Reddit is a bit of a minefield, but there are lots of subreddits for different communities. So again, I've just typed in DIY gifts, but there are 4,000 members as part of that subreddit. So you could create posts saying, looking for ideas about what the best gifts are for my boyfriend. So hopefully people will answer. You might get some really good ideas there from your potential customers about what actually they want to hear about. Or you could just search the Reddit and get some more ideas for content. Again, I think Reddit's a sort of an underutilized resource, but there's loads of stuff in there. You can either repurpose your content, or ask community for help. So that was syndicating content. That was number 2. Sorry, there's a lot of information I'm throwing out here, so hopefully I'm not going too fast, but you can watch it on the replay or just message me for any questions. So number 3 is Google My Business. So I know Sinead and I are quite passionate about Google My Business. It's definitely an underutilized resource for content marketing. So all it is if I go and search for my business, you see on the right hand side of Google, there's a little preview screen. Now, this is totally free. You don't have to pay Google for this, but in it, you can add photos of your business. You can add a maps location. You can get directions direct to where you are, to your business. You can also add your products to there if you want to link people to an Etsy site or another, or your websites. You can also get people to review you directly on Google. So if I was searching for Sinead's wedding business, I could type it in here and instantly see what people think of her. So you can actually then drive people to give you more reviews by sending them a review link. So again, it's a great way of showcasing your business within Google search. I can also add updates. So I can put my blog post in here, or I could put some of my social media content in here. Again, it's just putting more eyes on my content and giving people more chances to find me and find my business. So if you want to do that, all you need to do is search for your business or go to Google My Business, and it will try and find your business. Then you just need to fill in all that information and then just tweak it. It's not very hard to use. And then you can't actually add your social media, but once you have started using the Google My Business, it will eventually link to your content on Facebook and all the other social platforms. So again, I've got a blog post about how you can make the most of Google My Business. I'll show you Safe Climbs one. So since we got them on Google My Business, I get a weekly update from Google saying this amount of people have viewed you on Google My Business, this many people have called you through Google My Business, and the numbers keep going up and up. So for Safe Climb especially, Google My Business is great for driving traffic to their site. And we've also put some of the videos that we've made for them, we've put them directly on Google. You can see all their profiles there as well. So yeah, Google My Business, definitely a great one if you want to try and increase your presence on the web. Number 4 is making videos. Now I know this is a painful topic for many because all the social media platforms want video right now, and it's very hard to get away from. But it doesn't mean that you constantly have to be on camera. You don't have to show your face. There are different clever ways you can make video by using some tools. So I wanted to show you one, which is Biteable. Biteable is free. If you want to get rid of their watermark, you'd have to do a pro account. I think it's only about £25 a month to sign up. But they have templates that you can edit and customize to add in your own pictures, your own products, and they also have a library of music. So you don't need any video editing skills to create really quick videos, and you can size them to be widescreen if you're going to put them on YouTube. You can have them square for Twitter and Instagram, or you can even have them portrait if you wanted to create a reel or an IGTV. I was going to show you a quick example of a Biteable. So this is a Biteable video I made for a street furniture company. But they have no content. All I have is photos. So I'm using photos in a clever way in Biteable just to try and make it appear as a video, but all it is static imagery. So all I've done is typed in the text and uploaded video, and we've created this video for them. So all the moves and all the images with all the moves on the text, those are all created by Biteable. You just tell it what you want to do. You don't have to do any clever coding, any clever editing to create a video like that. And then this is another one, a different ale and beer company. Again, static images again. I've changed the font to match their brand font and used their brand colours. Again, really quick, all those clever moves, all done by Biteable, no editing in there at all. So my background is actually in TV production and TV editing. So I used to work for BBC, so I know how to create these, but actually I much prefer to use Biteable because it only takes me maybe 10 minutes to create one of these videos. And then you can very quickly, you can either share it directly to your platform, or you can download it and use it on your website. You can maybe even add it into your blog post. So Biteable is definitely a great one for creating video, but there are lots more like Animoto and Promo and Magisto. So they've all got these pre-formatted templates to help you make video. Canva is another one that you can make video. There's a new record yourself feature. So this is one that I did this morning. All I've done is click on the record yourself, and it's used my own webcam. So you don't need any clever cameras or recording stuff. You can just use your own webcam and make very quick short videos. Canva also has a lot of videos in their library, so you could go into their photos and you could search for cake. Search in there. If I click on video, it's got a lot of stock video that you could use. So again, you don't even have to record your own video to make videos, or you could look for animations as well. So let me look for Sparkle. I look for Sparkle animated quite a lot. There we go. So I can pick one of those. So this is a graphic I've created for Pinterest, but I want to make it into a video pin. So all I've done is put on an animation, and I've got the little animations going on here. So then when I want to download it, I can then download it as an MP4 video. So let me show you, there's another one in Canva I wanted to show you an example of. Again, you can use Canva's own templates. And then you can just use their own video, or you can use their video templates and just drop in your own footage, or use some of their custom designs. So really quick, easy to make videos in Canva and in Biteable. I had one more, here we go. So this is just an example of one for Instagram. So again, Canva's got all of these preloaded for you. So I could pick this template. I could change the font to my brand font. So I could change this to maybe Nicola's colors. I could drag and drop video in here, or I could look for video within Canva and pop that in. So again, really simple way of making video, but I'm not doing really any effort at all. I don't have any high-tech video editing skills. And then I just want to show you can also make reels. So video again doesn't have to show your face. I wanted to show you Etsy as an example, because some of these Etsy designers, creators, they're not showing their stuff, but they're showing their process. And they've got some really lovely videos. Again, no high-tech equipment, just a video mounted on a tripod. And they've just shown a very quick sort of summary, this is what I'm doing, or they've done a behind the scenes video to show how their process works. So if you're afraid of doing video, I know, Sinead, we were talking about this earlier, we don't really like showing our faces on camera, but there are other videos you can make. I'm obsessed with watching behind the scenes videos of people making donuts or precision engineering. It doesn't matter what it is. Videos are very engaging. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm not a photographer, I'm not a videographer, it doesn't have to be polished, especially for reels. You can just quickly point and shoot and say, this is what I'm working on today. And then number 5 is going live. So Instagram is actually paying people for going live at the moment, which is a nice little bonus if you want to try it. But it is scary, and I understand it can be scary. But there are some very, very good people on social media who will help coach you through it. So I'd highly recommend Ian Anderson Gray. He actually, his whole platform is about teaching people how to do lives. He does a live, I think, every week. He also does top tips about what you need to do to prepare for a live, the equipment you need, how to repurpose your content if you've made a live. He's very personal, very good, but he'll talk you through. Now, if you want to go live, even if you're not showing your face, but you want to go live and show a process or something that you're making, I would highly recommend looking at some of the blog posts. Go back through his older posts to show how you set it up and what you need to do. And also Mari Smith, she's called the Facebook Queen, but she does a live every week, and then repurposes her live video content onto her blog post and onto her YouTube channel. But again, she's got a really good blog post about what sort of camera equipment you can use and how you can set up. So I think don't be afraid to go live. I think you can absolutely learn as you go. People are very forgiving on social media. But if there is, say, you want to do a workshop, or if you want to do a demo, don't be afraid to go live. But my one top tip would be, make sure you download that video afterwards, so you have it that you can then cut it into smaller segments. You could maybe cut it up and say, this is tip number 1, I'm going to share that on my social media feed, or I'm going to repurpose it as a reel. So always be thinking about repurposing your content. Number 6 is using case studies. So I think case studies is also very underutilized. You could turn a case study into a blog post. You could turn a case study into a bit of social media. You could have a carousel on Instagram. I also love case studies where they have been turned into videos as well. HubSpot is great for doing case study videos. So I just want to show you this one. So this is about one of their Singapore startups. So they've created a blog post which has a very good layout. So they've gone with analysts, so they've gone with data to explain exactly what they did and how they made an impact. But then importantly, they've got a video with the customer explaining, how great it was and how great the business was. But those sorts of case studies do really, really well. This is another one from App Annie about Coca-Cola. Again, they've embedded video directly into that case study to tell that customer's story. And then this is another company I did work for called Node. They are, I can't even explain, it's something to do with big data, but they have a beautiful banner. So they give all the core details on the right. They have a video again embedded into the case study and call out quotes from the person. So they're trying to break up the text in the case study to make it easy to read. But they've got, and then they say, okay, if you read this one, here are some other case studies that you might be interested in. So I'd say case studies are such a great piece of content that's underutilized. And they're just great for, if you don't want to sell yourself, you're scared of selling yourself, let your customers do it for you. So Nicola, the women that you've helped support, get them to say how amazing you are, turn their story into a great case study, use images and video, and use that to showcase how amazing you are, and plaster it everywhere. So put case studies on social media, put it on Pinterest, put it on your website, put it on Google My Business. Number 7 is lead generators. So lead generators, I would say, are things like checklists or how-to guides, anything that is sort of a way of teasing people to your service or content. So I would say things like ebooks. there's lots of people that turn their social media into an ebook. So there's loads and loads of Pinterest ebooks out there. This blogger called The Site Approach, she has all her lead generators down the side here. So gets 1 year blog posts or use my ebook. But again, if you have a newsletter that people are signing up for, you could have lead generators in there saying, you know, sign up for my newsletter and you'll get access to this great checklist. So again, it's just another way of driving people to your content by having little drip fed bits of lead generation content. Number 8 is write an ebook. So I was actually talking to somebody today who makes jams and preserves and does amazing recipes, and she has so much content on her Instagram feed that it could very easily make an ebook. So I was trying to convince her that she should just use Canva, create herself a PDF book and sell it online. But it doesn't have to be, you don't have to find someone to publish it for you. You can publish it yourself. If you just want to do something quick, use Canva doing a PDF. If you did want to do it into a proper book, I would say try, and then you could list it on Google Play. So I used to work for a company called Content 10X, and the woman wrote a book and then we turned it into an ebook and we launched it on Google Play. So there it is on Google Play. We also launched it through Publish Drive, which then puts it out to loads of other ebook companies like Amazon, Ingram Spark, Kobo, and a lot of the Chinese ebook markets. So there are lots of sites that can help get get you more views on your book, that mean that you don't have to rely on a publisher. So self-publishing your ebook basically. So there's Draft to Digital, Publish Drive, Ingram Spark, and also Google Play. So if you do think ebooks is the way to go, I would definitely recommend having a look at some of those websites to learn, you know, I'm going to write an ebook, but where else can I publish it? I want to publish it myself. How can I get more eyes and more views on my content? So I realise that's a whole another topic and probably a whole different discussion, but the world of ebooks I definitely think is underutilised by small businesses. And then launching a course. So if you've got lots of social media content or you're giving lots of advice on your blog posts, try and maybe think about launching a course. Now, courses aren't actually as hard to make as you think they are. There are, again, helpful platforms like Thinkific, where all you need to do is set up an account and start typing. You can upload video, you can upload pre-made PDFs, you can write it directly, or you could put in other content like podcast media. But once you've got that set up, you can then link in your PayPal and start charging people for content. So I've just got an example of one I just started here about an Instagram course. So you can, I just wanted to show you how easy it was to do. So all I've done is I can drag and drop a video in there. This one I can just write text and I can just throw imagery into that directly. And then another good platform is Teachable. Thinkific I think is free if you've just got one course, and then you can set a price limit of how much you want to do, or if you're going to grow and want more, you can sort of set tiered prices or add on courses to your core content. But yeah, well, I think we were talking about this on one of the other events, networking meetings, but actually if you've got great content, maybe try and make it sellable by turning it into a course. I think that's another useful content strategy. And then finally, this is my love, is using Pinterest. So I know Nicola's heard me rant about Pinterest quite a lot, but it is a very underutilized platform. So Pinterest isn't really a social media platform. It is a visual search engine. So having content on Pinterest, when you click on it, it is driving you to that person's website. So I should actually take you to my Pinterest account just so I can show you. So in here, these are all pin graphics that are linked to my blog post. So if I open this one up here, so if you were to click on this, hopefully this works, this will take you directly to my content on my website. So each pin is essentially an opportunity to drive people to your content. So say if you had a recipe, that recipe could push people to your website where you're selling your jam. So each different pin is a different way of driving people to my website, but I can create more than one pin for the same piece of content. I'd say definitely don't do it for your website, but if it's for blog content, you can do that. So on my Pinterest marketing, I've pinned other people's content, but I want the majority to be my content. So I've created idea pins and normal pins. An idea pin is a bit like a carousel pin. Again, they're all just opportunities to drive people back to my content. The great thing with Pinterest is that they now also accept pin graphics that are the same size as your Instagram stories and Instagram reels, which means you can get more bang for your buck, basically. So if you've created this beautiful reel, you can then repurpose it and put it on your Pinterest account. So this one here was actually a reel, which I've then stuck on and broken it up into an idea pin. This is a very silly one that I made this morning about my background, but again, I'm just getting more repurposing and more value out of the one piece of content that I created by putting on more channels. And with Pinterest, that's already got 98 views, and that only went on this morning. So I've got hopefully more opportunities for people to see my content. And if you're clever and you've used the right keywords, you can get content to go viral. So, sorry, that was very loud. This one's actually had 18,000 views. And 14 people have gone to my profile and 20 people have clicked, pinned it. So you've got lots of different ways of driving people's content by using Pinterest. And especially I think for women, Pinterest is such a popular platform. Again, I would recommend going in, having a look at competition, setting yourself up a business account, and finding, using pregnancy again as another example. If I change this to boards, I can see what's popular, what the topics are, what people are talking about. Let's have a look at this account here, seeing what people are pinning, what's useful content. But again, all of these are driving me to that person's website. So I mean, simple one, is it safe to eat a banana during a pregnancy? I hope it is, because I ate a lot of bananas. But again, that's driving them to Mum Junction. So I can click on Mum Junction, say that they get 10 million monthly views, they've got loads of followers. But again, on Pinterest, followers doesn't count so much, because you don't want people to follow you, you want people to click on your content and go to your website. So yes, I'd say Pinterest is a massively useful one to use for extending your reach and growing your presence, but really for driving people to your website. So whereas on Instagram, you're probably constantly pumping useful content out, but it's not driving people to your actual website, Pinterest is. So hopefully I've gone through a lot of stuff very quickly, but hopefully that's giving you a sort of a flavour of what's available for content marketing and some different ideas of how you can maybe repurpose some of your content, or maybe use your content in different ways, or even encourage you to launch on something like YouTube or Pinterest, and just see what's out there and see how you can grow with content. So hopefully I've not bamboozled you with too much knowledge, but yes, let me know if you have any questions.